On this next episode, we will continue to discuss Ron and his crew from Snowshoe, PA, and we will also discuss the heavy equipment that was moved the night Brenda Condon disappeared. That's on this episode. Let's get into it. Snowshoe region in Center County, Pennsylvania has been the site of several mine land reclamation projects. One notable project was the Contrary Run Abandoned Mine Land Reclamation Project, completed in 1991. The project aimed to restore and reclaim land affected by abandoned coal mines in the area. The Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection and the Pennsylvania Game Commission collaborated on this effort. Additionally, the Beech Creek watershed, which includes parts of Center and Clinton counties, originates to the north and south of the Snowshoe region. Beech Creek flows in an easterly direction towards its mouth, which is located southeast of the town of Beech Creek and below the Sayers Dam. The watershed is part of the Susquehanna River Basin and spans both the Appalachian Plateau Province and the Ridge and Valley Province. Reclamation efforts in this region have been crucial for environmental restoration and sustainability. This was the project that Ron and his crew were working on in 1991. Okay guys, on the last episode we discussed Ron and his interest in Brenda. Well, something else happened that night that may not be common knowledge, and that is at the job site in Snowshoe. The next morning, as the crew got back up to Snowshoe at the job site, the guys noticed that one of the excavators had been moved. Now that's very odd because there was nobody up there. The guys were down in Milesburg as Ron was in Carlsbad Tavern that night. And Ron was in Carlsbad Tavern until after 1 o'clock. Well, Ron's the foreman up there. So I would imagine that Ron would have the keys to the equipment. Maybe everyone had a key, but Ron certainly had a key. And one of the excavators was moved. And they tried to say that it may have slipped the track. Okay. Well, excavators are normally parked on a flat surface. There's nobody in the excavator. And these excavators, on average, weigh between 19 and 24 tons. A mini excavator would weigh between 16,000 pounds and 90,000 pounds, according to John Deere. Now, for the wind to just blow one of these excavators to the point where it slips the track, it's very odd. I'm not an expert on excavators, but that sounds like something that would be very hard to do, unless there was somebody in it that was trying to move it. Mind you, it was 22 degrees that night. That was according to the weather report in Belfast. This is up the mountain a little bit, so I would imagine it might be a little colder. But regardless, it was below freezing. But just sitting there and it to slip the track, possible, probably not likely. one of the workers said, well, if the excavator got stuck on something and the track was trying to spin, it could come off. Or, well, if nobody was running it, that's not really a possibility. And another reason why a track would slip would be a lack of tension on the track. But once again, if the excavator is sitting there, there's nobody trying to run it. Did Ron go up to Snowshoe that night after leaving Carlsbad Tavern to try to run that excavator? Makes you wonder. Now, whether Ron or the older man in the picture in the sketch had something to do with this, or whether it was somebody that we're not even thinking of.
I do know one thing I did want to tell you. Yes. The whole thing about her working at that farm. She had called me. She told me when she was going to negotiate, she said, I need some extra cash. And she said, I wanted to know if you'd be interested in working with me at this bar. And I'm like, what bar? And she said, the bar up that tower. I said, Brenda, it's winter time. How am I going to get down there at night? Like, I don't have a good car, traveling that far by myself, it wasn't in my, I have two kids. I couldn't do that. And she said, well, it would be worth your while. And she said, well, just come down and see the place. So I had just started dating a guy who actually was going to school at Penn State. So he said, I know that place. His brother lived down there somewhere. And he said, I don't know, it's pretty shady. He said, well, we'll go down. Maybe there was a band playing, it was known for that. All I can remember about that night is we had a good time dancing. She seemed to know a lot of people, some people she steered clear of.
Now, that was Brenda's best friend, Bonnie. Brenda obviously had trepidation about working in Carlsbad Tavern. She didn't want to work alone. Well, the night that she disappeared, February 26th evening, a trepidation came true. She was working alone. Something very bad happened. Someone in that bar, whether it's Ron, the older man in the sketch, or somebody else that we're not even thinking of, that was involved in her disappearance. Now, on the next episode, I'm going to get into the paranormal perspective. I'm going to do, myself and my team are going to do a paranormal investigation and see if we can contact the spirit of Brenda Condon. If she is indeed deceased, then we're going to go to the locations that we know that she would frequent. And we want to see if we can get any kind of information, any kind of insights We want to get the communication flowing, see if we can indeed make contact with Brenda Condon. See if we can gain any insights on what may have happened to Brenda. Her family deserves some kind of closure on this. And this, if you believe in the paranormal perspective, that is a possibility. Maybe we can make contact. Well, I can tell you this. We did make contact. In my opinion, we did make contact with Brenda Condon. And I'm going to have that interaction on the next video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode. Brenda, are you here?